From MTN, the Montana Television Network, this is Face the State.
Good morning and welcome to Face the State. I'm Jay Cohn. Today, a special edition of Face the State as we look back at the christening and the launch of the USS Billings. People are still buzzing about this historic event that took place on the 1st of July in Marinette, Wisconsin. On today's program, we're going to take you on a tour of this brand new Navy ship. We'll also take in the special mast stepping ceremony, and then we'll let you relive the launch of the USS Billings. Now, the Billings continues a long-standing tradition in the U.S. Navy of naming ships after great American cities, towns, and communities. The USS Billings, the 15th ship of its kind, is the first U.S. Navy ship to bear the name of Montana's largest city. Charlotte Tester, wife of Montana Senator John Tester, was designated the ship's sponsor. As sponsor, Charlotte had the honor to christen the USS Billings with the traditional breaking of a champagne bottle across the ship's bow. The city of Billings also sent a special entourage to Wisconsin to take part in the historic launching ceremony. That group included Mayor Tom Hannell and First Lady Robin Hannell, along with representatives of the Billings City Council. A bit later in our program today, we'll hear from Charlotte Tester, the mayor, and the commander of the USS Billings. And first, before we go much further, a huge salute to KTVQ director, photographer Justin Hosa. He's the man behind the camera lens, recording the historic event for all to see and appreciate. So the USS Billings is the U.S. Navy's 15th littoral combat ship. LCS-15, it's designed to defeat threats and provide security, access, and dominance in the coastal water battle space. It's a fast, maneuverable ship. It features the latest technology and warfighting capabilities for mine warfare, anti-submarine warfare, and surface capabilities as well. Here's some fast facts for you. The USS Billings is powered by 4 water jet engines that can reach a top speed of 45 knots. The ship does come with a $360 million price tag. It has a core crew of 50 sailors. It would also include space for 2 helicopters and 3 unmanned aerial drones. The specs of the ship: it is 389 feet long. It features 3D air search radar, a rolling airframe missile system, a medium caliber gun with infrared gunfire control, and something that's called a decoy launching system. In other words, it is state-of-the-art and then some. Many of its systems and weapons are classified information. So with that, let's now check out the ship's mast stepping ceremony. Now, this is a long-held Navy tradition during which coins are inserted into the ship's mast. In the past, the coins were placed under the main mast. Now, in modern times, they're typically welded to the radar mast. Some believe that this long-held tradition actually dates back to Roman times.
Good morning and welcome to the mast stepping ceremony for the future USS Billings, LCS-15, the pride of Billings, Montana. This tradition today, the final trace of ship building, has its origin with the ancient Greeks and Romans. The mast stepping ritual has survived and evolved to what you see today.
Building and birthing of a warship is the effort of no small group. Rather, she shares the miracle of her birth with the men and women who will build her, the sponsors, and the individuals who bestow her with character and luck, the city and the crew who will sail and, if necessary, fight our nation's enemy alongside her. I like to think that these gifts, which will surely be bestowed on Billings, will shape her life and chart her course. Will she be a lucky ship, a tenacious ship, tradition-bound, a historic ship? She will be the ship that all of us make her. She will always remain just a little different from her sister ships. She will always remain Billings.
The items I place into this mast today are a symbol of Montana, a symbol of rural America's investment into our freedom, and commitment that the Tester family will be this ship every nautical mile. I am putting a simple jar. I filled it with dirt from the farm and 5 simple seeds. There is a pea, a safflower, a kamut, a hard red winter wheat, and a hard white spring wheat. I wanted to place something into the mast that represented Montana. Agriculture is our state's #1 industry. There's something about farming that cannot be described unless you're a farmer. That's the smell of the dirt when you're on the tractor, the good feeling you experience when God brings much needed rain, or the fear when that rain turns to hail, which it has. Only these things a farmer knows. And I have to imagine that it's similar, that only things that a sailor knows. The moment of joy when you see land for the first time in a long while. The smell of the ocean when it's the only thing the eye can see. and the pride you feel in defending our country. And that dirt is what they are defending for us today.
Today we actually had ground earth from Montana, which I thought was very impressive that the sponsor added a touch of, you know, you're protecting in a warship that's going to go protect the shores of America, and that's now contained in that canister, which I had not seen that before. It was actually very, very nicely done, a little emotional.
Farming is my passion, it's our passion, so I figured a little bit of dirt with a little bit of the seeds of what we grow on our farm, and it's the soil that these ships are out protecting our waters and the ground and our country around it, and so they're protecting our soil for us to be able to farm. And so a little bit of Montana dirt, a little bit of the United States.
If you name a ship after the city, I think that when people tour the ship, they need to understand the namesake of the city is named for. So memorabilia is very important. It should be like a miniature museum when they walk through, and they get kind of a history of the city when they walk throughout the ship.
A nickel from 2017 for when the ship is getting christened, and a dime from 2015 for when the keel was laid. This equals 15 cents, the whole number of USS Billings. Additionally, the LCS Crew 116 Kraken logo with a small bottle of the Kraken Spice Rum, signifying Sailor's February line of the song Anchors Away. We drink to the foam. Finally, an American flag in honor of the American people that build the ship in order to represent freedom and democracy around the world.
On behalf of the City of Billings, I'm honored to present just a few small items. We have a patch in honor of the military in support of the defense of our country, a patch from the Billings Police Department, if I may. Also, I'd like to include my personal pin, which has the name Hamill as the mayor for the City of Billings on it. And may I say this, may God bless the United States Navy, may God bless the USS Billings, and may it have safe travels and continue to provide our country with the freedom that we enjoy.
So here's a look at the special USS Billings coins. Now, the coin, as you see, takes the shape of the state animal, the grizzly bear. It is copper in color with dark brown tones, evoking the rugged western history of Billings. The coin front features alpine mountains at the top, and you see at the bottom is a range rider cowboy in front of the rim rocks, the unique geographic formations that surround the Magic City. And on the back of the coin is an image of the USS Billings, LCS 15. By the way, it's a number that will remain with the ship throughout its service life. Construction on the USS Billings got underway on October 20th, 2014, so it took nearly 3 years to complete. Prior to the ship's launch, the dignitaries were given a tour of LCS 15 to give them a better appreciation for the ship and its special features. Take a look.
How high do you think we are here?
This is our 8th ship that we're going to launch. We have 5 more in construction behind her.
Well, there's going to be some cutouts there because obviously you're not
yeah, for safety purposes.
It's always fun, and I will tell you, I think the Billings crew that came here today, the whole team with the sponsor, were very upfront, asking a lot of great questions, and it's just been fun because they learn the most by doing that.
This is unbelievable. This isn't anything what I expected. Very impressive.
Well, the LCS program is very new to the Navy, so you will find that the majority of people that come into this program, it's new to them as well. So it's a great opportunity to be a part of something new and to advance the program.
These are magazines, these large doors here to reload the helicopter.
You have to see it to believe it. You have to be there. It's overwhelming. I'm in awe.
Hey, we're at the mess decks. Yep, a huge mess decks.
It's pretty awesome to see the ship being constructed and soon to be commissioned. So seeing it at this stage is very exciting, knowing that we're near completion and that it'll be placed in service, and we get to be a part of that.
Ready for lunch, sir? Ready for chow? Yeah. Standing in
This is the galley area where all the good stuff goes on, right?
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff, right? You grab your chow, you eat, and when you get done, you put your dishes in and they run it through.
There's pride. There's pride sitting in this yard. There's pride on this whole team. And we like to talk about it, so we like to keep people and get them educated on how and what it takes to do this.
It feels pretty good to have people understand the mission and how the crew is a tight-knit family is very important. It also helps to explain how important our mission is when we go out to sea and how we really rely on each other when we're at sea to get the mission done. So it's a good opportunity to explain to people who've never served on board a Navy ship before the basic operations of the ship.
I mean, we're standing here looking at basically the motors, the jet propulsion, and standing underneath the ship earlier. I mean, that's never going to happen again. That's once-in-a-lifetime opportunities.
It never gets old. Each one of these has its own heart, its own bloodline. There's a lot of different builders that get to work on one and then they move to the one after. So the crews of all that put the ship together have really put their blood and soul into this. And we get to this stage, it's just a great day. Here you go!
Yeah, now that I know what it actually feels like, other than hitting a bottle on the farm on our tractor bucket, yeah, now I know what it feels like. So I had an empty wine bottle that I filled with water, just gave it a good swing on the loader tractor bucket. Not bad. There you go. Now I really know what to expect. I've never felt so proud of our state and the biggest city, Billings, the Magic City. It's an honor. It's an absolute humbling honor. There's no other words for it. Okay, here we go.
So the scene was set for the christening and launch of the USS Billings. The date is the 1st of July of this summer, Marinette, Wisconsin. The big day finally arrived, and it certainly did not disappoint.
Montana and Wisconsin may be far apart. The one thing we have in common is that both states are defined by the people who work hard and deserve to have that hard work recognized.
As I stand before you representing the city of Billings, Montana, along with my lovely wife and First Lady Rodman, we represent the largest city within the state, a city of prosperity, a city with positive, a city with optimism. And today, all of that just got much, much better.
This ship is here today, the USS Billings, to serve our country valiantly. It embodies the spirit of the town that is its namesake, the largest city in Montana. Billings is nicknamed the Magic City because when the railroad came through, it grew like magic and visitors felt at home. Billings truly is the Magic City, and just from looking at this ship, I can tell you it's got a little bit of magic in it. It too will feel like home.
How can you get better than the namesake of Billings, Montana? A wild, wild west town that stands for self-reliance, strength, versatility.
The city of Billings and the ship we celebrate today are certainly fitting representations of our strong history and our bright future.
I love coming to launches because it's so exciting to see these ships as we move them to their home in the water for the first time.
As she travels the sea, the ship we christen today will represent America and serve as an inspiration around the world.
For the United States of America, I christen thee Billings. May God bless this ship and all who sail in her. That was so cool. And it was like it was just slow motion for a second and then it just went. Because, you know, they said don't take your eye off, and I hit it, I'm going, there it goes. Looking at the ship now, it's where it needs to be. It's at home, it's in the water. And it was more fun hitting the ship than it was practicing. It was a lot more fun.
It's my first opportunity, first time I've ever seen a launching of any boat, any ship this size. And obviously about 400 feet long, the USS Billings slid off of the ramps perfectly as it splashed into the water, rocked back and forth, and then it was stable within seconds. It tells me what it's all about, what it stands for, representing a very stable community, a very solid community.
Well, the process to get to this point for everybody back in Billings was a lot of hard work to put the ship together. We get to a point where she has everything inside of her and her systems are ready to go. We're going to get ready for testing. So we roll her out of the building, get her over to the launchways. They jack the ship up and then set her back down. And they pull those triggers today when that bottle breaks, and Mrs. Tester did a wonderful job doing that. And Billings is in the water where she belongs, and can't wait to have her sail around.
Launch day is the beginning. All right, we actually got the ship in the water, and this is the first phase into placing the ship into operation. So we're very excited. Finally, Billings is in the water where she belongs.
It's been a long time coming. You know, Billings has earned this for many decades. The state of Montana deserves this. What it stands for is freedom. What it stands for is strength, power, optimism. I just would like to thank our community for their support. We're here for all of the citizens of Billings, my council that were able to make it, the media, of course, and may God bless all of our military and especially the United States Navy. This ship is for them to help provide us with the freedom that we enjoy on a daily basis.
And we're joined now in this part of our program by our three special guests to wrap up our program on the USS Billings. Next to me, we're honored to have the Commander of the USS Billings. This is Nathan Rowan. Commander, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
In the middle, we have Charlotte Tester, wife of our senior senator, John Tester, who had the honors to be the ship's sponsor. We'll get her response of being the sponsor of this ship. Last and certainly not least on the end, we have the mayor of Billings, Tom Hannell, who led the contingent from Billings. And just last night, Mayor, you were able to proclaim U.S. Navy Day here in Billings. Let's start with that. That must have been quite an honor for yourself.
Thank you, Jay. Well, it is. It's an honor not just for me. It's an honor for our community. It's an honor for the state of Montana. And I did declare Navy Day in Billings yesterday with a reading of a proclamation that gave me great honor to prepare in respect of our Navy, Charlotte Tester, and certainly the USS Billings. And so it was a great start to our evening meeting last night.
Charlotte, I have to ask you, because we just watched you christen the ship. That took a little practice, right?
Yeah, I did. I practiced on an empty, well, I drank the wine first and then filled it with water and practiced on our tractor bucket. But what he did not have was pressurized, so it wasn't carbonated. So that was maybe the only difference, but it was...
Was it tougher than it looked? Because it's a little intimidating.
I was given a wooden bottle to practice on with first, and they told me give it a good whack. Well, I did, and then went down below and actually practiced with the real bottle on a makeshift hull. And that evening at the reception, I was told that I had splintered the wooden bottle, and that had never happened before, and they were going to have to replace it. To which my daughter said, "Does Mom get to keep that wooden bottle?" And I didn't get to keep it. So.
You have taken part in many events with your husband being a U.S. Senator. Yes. How does this event compare to some of the other things you've had the honor of being a part of?
This was humbling. This was overwhelming. This was so spectacular. It was so emotional. Such an emotional 2 days. The bonding between the crew and myself and my daughter and my granddaughter, it's a lifelong experience that won't happen again. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
The video that we just watched of the christening and the ship going off, it looked like it almost hit you in the head. You know, maybe you were really close.
It was literally, when you swing it, I mean, it is right there. And I actually remember looking at it, thinking, they told me I had 7 to 10 seconds and it would be gone. And I'd hit it, and I actually remember looking, well, it should be going any time, and then by golly, there it went, and it was in the water.
So, Commander Nathan Rowan, what were your thoughts as you watched the USS Billings slide into the water? What were you thinking at that moment?
I was just trusting the engineers and all the preparation that they did for the launching, and just hoping that the ship would just right itself as designed. So I was concerned, you know, new ship, our ship, and that's what I was thinking about. I hope it rights itself back up with the weights and everything.
It took a pretty good slide into the water, and it did tip almost over.
It did. It did. So, you know, again, just a little nervous, but, you know, you have to trust that everyone's able to do their job, and it was a success.
So tell our viewers this morning what's happening to the USS Billings as we speak. It's being outfitted with all its bells and whistles, so to speak.
Yes, sir. So they have to add in all the equipment that we will use to drive the ship, to be able to fire the weapons, navigation systems. They have to add in all the non-skid, finish the flight deck so we can land helicopters or unmanned aerial vehicles. So it's still a lot of work to do. It's a lot of internal things. All the crew living spaces are not done yet. None of the officer or chief spaces are done yet. Basically where we cook, that's not done yet. So there's still a lot of work to be done on internal and external to the ship. No radars yet. So they still have quite a bit of work to do on board the ship.
Tell our viewers a little bit about yourself. Is this your first command?
It is my first command. Definitely a unique opportunity. Joined the Navy over 20 years ago. Started at the very bottom as a E1, and was able to work myself up to the current rank of 05. So this is definitely exciting and a unique opportunity for myself and everyone who's taking this journey with me.
And where are you from?
I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee.
I knew the accent was coming from somewhere, so I dug deep enough. Well, a pleasure. Tell us a little about your trip to Montana and Billings. You're here all week as you get to know the town that the ship's named after.
Right. So with me, about 7 additional sailors from the crew. The purpose of our trip was to make sure that the city was aware that there's a United States warship named after the city. We wanted to gather some of the historical knowledge about the city, get out and meet the citizens, capture the spirit of Billings, and we absolutely plan to take that back and make it a part of the ship as it goes through, completes its construction, and then gets commissioned. So we want to make sure we capture that while we're here.
And your whole crew is here with you, at least a handful, almost a dozen. So we couldn't get them all on the set, but they took their picture earlier. But they're excited. Are you finding out that people of Billings know about the USS Billings?
Oh, very much so. It's an overwhelming experience. I think something that my crew and myself, we have not experienced in our lifetime. We walk around, people are very friendly, very welcoming here in the city. It's, it almost makes you feel like you're a celebrity, even though we know it's not real. But we do appreciate all the love and that the city is showing us since we've been here. So it's really exciting for us to be here.
Well, we watched you at the city council meeting last night, and you guys did us proud. Mayor, tell us your reaction after this. You've been involved in so many events as a representative of the city of Billings, but this had to be special.
It was extra special. Jay, and in respect of the Navy and the crew of the ship, having the opportunity to tour the ship previous to the launching, it was overwhelming. It was hard to believe when they did launch a ship into the water. I thought, oh, please don't flip over on your side. But, walking through it as the technology within the ship in itself was just so amazing. At the same time, there was nothing fancy about the interior of the ship. It's very much designed with efficiency, cost in mind, and so forth. And it just gave me great pleasure to have the opportunity to be there, to meet Commander Rowan, the other Navy crew members from the ship. And I would say this, you are a celebrity. Billings is honored to have you here. And the love that you're feeling, the respect that you've received being here is a demonstration of Montana as a state that supports the military 100%. And we're very proud of that. So, but to have Billings having a ship named after us, our community, is an absolute honor.
Charla, you got to say a few words. You got to add a little piece of Montana from your farm. Tell our viewers about that a little bit more.
When they do the mast stepping, everyone sticks in something special and important to them, and you're not going to get it back. And so I hemmed and hawed and actually pondered for about 2 weeks before I finally said, the farm's my passion. So I went out to the field in the backyard with a little tiny baby jar and spray painted the lid so it didn't say Gerber on it, and I got some dirt from the field and added the seeds of which our farm grew this year, and that's in the mast stepping. And it's actually it's part of our farm is with the crew, but it's United States soil that's with the crew, and that's what they're defending.
Commander, tell our viewers about the ship's role in the Navy. A littoral combat ship. It's kind of protects the coastal waters, correct?
Yes, sir. So right now, most of the ships that people are familiar with, the destroyers, cruisers, they're pretty much designed for the high-end threat environment. Our ships are designed more to take the missions of the low to medium threat environment. We are a single mission ship. The 3 missions that we primarily focus on are surface warfare, mine countermeasure, and anti-submarine warfare. So each one of the ships, the various ships I should say, will focus on primarily those missions. However, we can get into more shallow water, the green water, and so that makes us, ideal platform again to take some of those missions that are very difficult, or I should say more challenging for the ships with a deeper draft.
So the hull is very shallow, so you can maneuver in shallow water, and it also has a pretty low radar profile too, correct?
Yes, sir. A very low radar cross section, And the hole is shallow, but what makes it unique is when you start making forward motion, the ship comes up on plane. So we actually plane up above the water. So the bulk of the ship is not even below water. Most of it is above water. So that makes us ideal for, again, shallow water operations.
Has a launch ever failed? Was there a chance it was going to tip over?
Not to our knowledge. I mean, when we received the briefing there at Marinette Marine, you know, no one has ever spoken of a ship not righting itself. So we trusted that everyone was able to do their job and it was going to be a successful christening. So, yes, sir.
Charlotte, we were told right before we started taping that for viewers, they can actually contribute a few items to the future of the USS Billings. In fact, they want some of Montana, some of Billings to be part of the ship.
Yes, they do. And I understand that there will be an address coming soon, and as to where to send the items.
We'll find that address and put it up on this program when it airs across the state. Mayor, we just have a few minutes. I knew this time would fly by. Just your takeaway from all of this. What an exciting time for the city of Billings to take its position in the U.S. Navy.
Very rewarding, and as I say once again, it gave me great pleasure to read the proclamation last evening at our City Council meeting and provide a very beautiful plaque in respect of our Navy and send them off knowing that we welcome them. We certainly invite them to come back once again, and we're very proud of what they do for the United States of America.
Charlotte, your takeaway, I'm sure everywhere you go now, everyone asks you about smacking the bow of that ship with the bottle of champagne. Huh?
I've been asked, did you have to hit it so hard? Yeah, it was.
What did you tell the senator? What did you tell your husband about this experience for yourself?
He actually said, it looked like he hit it pretty doggone hard, and I said, we don't want to fail, so, but he was pretty doggone proud of Billings. Overwhelming. He said it was emotional for him to be watching. My son watched from work on his phone, and he said it was pretty awesome.
It was awesome, and we carried it live here on our station in Billings on Facebook Live, and the amount of little squiggly smiley faces are coming across the screen of people just in Commander, so what do you do between now and the commissioning? You get ready to really hit the seas, huh?
We'll keep an eye on the construction of the ship, the timeline that it will take to finish that. In the interim, the crew, we still have to train. We want to be absolutely ready when the ship's complete to be able to embark and go out with Marinette Marines, do sea trials, and then work our way up to commissioning, and then back down to Jacksonville, Florida, where the work will start and getting ready to place the ship in the Navy's inventory.
And at what point do you think the Navy will have the ship?
Right now, we're hopeful. We're guesstimating maybe 13 months from now. So what's being projected is the summer of 2018. So we're going to stick with that until we hear something different.
There you have it. The story of the USS Billings, history just beginning to be written over in Marinette, Wisconsin. Mayor Tom Hannell, Charlotte Tester, Commander Nathan Rowan, thanks for joining us, and
thank you.
Have a great future on that ship. We're very proud of it.
Thank you. You too.
And thank you for joining us here on Face the State. Have a great week.
May God bless this ship and all who sail in her. Watch this.
You've been watching Face the State, a presentation of MTN, the Montana Television Network.